Okay, good afternoon, and today you find me down the allotment. It's a very murky day. We've got a bit drizzle outside, so I'm going to confine myself to the polytunnel. I've got a few jobs to do, so I'm just going to get on with them. Just a quick little update on what I have done in the polytunnel before today. I've cleared this big bed, so it's been top dressed. It will have some other fertilizers added to the top, but it's pretty much ready to go and ready to be planted up. In the top bed we've got the garlic and the winter onions growing away. Today I'm going to start some more onions and I'm going to start some shallots. The one thing that I have got started, which I put in the other day, I think that was in the video, is shallots. These are growing away. You can't see much on the tops, but if you look underneath you can see, if you look underneath you can see that the roots are coming through. So the first opportunity I get, those will be planted out. If I swing around this way, we've emptied one of the buckets of carrots and we're now ready to start on the two more here. Got another one down the other end of the tunnel. But like I say, today I'm going to concentrate on getting some more onions started and sweet peas as well. Okay, so what I'm going to do first of all is get these cells ready for planting out the sweet peas. Now, one of the problems with using these root trainers is that sometimes you don't water them well enough. And what I mean by that is, as we put the compost in, get them all filled up, what can happen is when you water, the water doesn't soak and penetrate through all of the compost. So what I'm going to do is fill these up. I'm not going to worry too much about getting it all neat and tidy, but each one's going to be filled. And then when it's full, they're going to get a good soak. Okay, so I'll damp them down a bit. You can see that some of them have dropped. Now, because we've got such a long, thin volume of compost, what will happen is when I water, this should drop. So I'm going to give them a really good soak. Far more water than they really need. And I'm going to leave them, and then I'm going to come back to them and they're going to have another good soak. And that way I'm going to make sure that the water's gone all the way down through and I haven't got any air pockets where there's no water. Okay. Okay. You can see, well, hopefully you can see, or might even be able to hear, that the air is bubbling up through. Another good soak. So hopefully you can see there how wet that is and how sodden it is, and hopefully you can also see that some of the compost is dropping. So I'm just going to put that to one side and leave it, let the water soak through, and then I'm going to get on with some other jobs. Okay, so the next job I'm going to do is put some onions in. So we've got some red onions called electric. These are a bit late to go in. These are ideally I'd put these outside, but we haven't been able to get the ground ready. We've had lots of snow, and then we've had wet weather. So I'm going to get them off to a good start here in the polytunnel, and then they'll be transferred out a little bit later. Okay, so these onion sets quickly go out. These are electric, the variety, red onion. We do use a lot of red onions, so my wife's keen to get some grown. Okay, so that'll be 28 in this tray. I can do another 28 as well. So those will be put on one side, get a water. Let's get that one right. They can have a water, they'll be put on one side. So let me just move this out of the way. So those can stay, those onions will stay on this main bed, and they'll have a water. So I'll come back to these. This is soaked through now, so I can now plant up, if I find them, plant up my sweet peas. What I'm going to plant today is a mixture. These are all sweet pea seeds that we saved last year. So there'll be one per cell. This will be the first sowing of the sweet peas. In a week or so's time, I'll sow another lot. We do like to grow the sweet peas, and if I can stagger them a little bit, in fact I might even wait till the end of Feb before I plant or sow the next lot. I'll see how these come. I've got some named varieties as well. So what I'm going to do now is just cover the tops of these with some more compost, and they'll have another water. I'm not worried about the top compost being wet. Obviously they need to be wet to soak up get the sweet peas grown away. Just reach the other watering can, so these can have another good soak. Okay, so that's the first lot of sweet peas. We've got some broad beans in. We've got some onion sets started. Like I say, I'm going to start another set of another 28 onion sets as well. Don't forget, we've got these onions grown away behind me, these winter onions. So we've got already got a good set grown away. We try to be self-sufficient in onions. We aren't going to quite make it. We've got the last half dozen or so red onions from last year that we're using at the moment. We've still got some white onions, but it looks like we're going to run out of onions before any of these are going to be ready. So that means having to buy onions. And unfortunately, we've got the same story with potatoes, because I decided against doing any Christmas or winter potatoes last year, so we're on our last half bag of potatoes from the 2025 season. But in a week or two's time, I'll make a judgment on the weather, and I might get some buckets in here and start to grow away some potatoes. Okay, but just a quick catch up today, show you what I'm doing, what I'm starting. These are the first seeds I've started in 2026. I will be starting some onion seeds at home, but that'll be the only seeds at home for probably 2 or 3 weeks, and then before we really get going with the seeds. Okay, so the only job I've got left to do now is to put the hanging shelf in, so I'll get that done, and then I can get these sweet peas and the broad beans up on that shelf away from any rats and mice. Okay, so I've done all the planting of seeds today, or all that I'm going to get done today. I'll just swing the camera around and show you what I've managed to get done. Okay, so I'd already got the large tray of shallots was already planted out. So this tray is what I planted a few weeks ago. I've put 2 trays of red onions in. I've put a few more shallots in as well that we picked up. And then on the shelf up here, you can just see it there, I've got the sweet peas and the broad beans. They're up there out the reach of the mice and the rats. Okay. Okay, I think we've got a break in the rain at the moment. So I'll just go through and prune a couple of fruit bushes. Okay, I don't know how well you can see this. This bed needs weeding, but also there's quite a bit of pruning to do here. So what I'm going to do, this one here, I'm going to take out. I'm also going to take out this one here. That's in the middle. Here I've got 2 that are very close, if not crossing, but I might get away with that. That's damaged, so this one here is damaged, so I'm going to take all of that out. And got a shoot coming up here. That one's going to come out as well. So I've cleared that one. That one's pruned back enough. Hopefully we get some good fruit. Oh, sorry, I missed one here. So down here, this one's going to come out. And I'm going to cut this one out as well. Okay, so that bush has been cleared, and like I say, I'm trying to get some airflow through the bush. Okay, I'll find another one to do. Okay, this one needs a bit more work. As you can see, I'm taking that one out. Take out that and that. In the middle we've let me just see. Might take that one out as well. Looks a bit ruthless, but what I'm trying to do is create a goblet shape and try and avoid any crossing. So that one's not looking too bad. That one can come out because it's going to cross. That one there. Okay, these are relatively young plants, so I might leave it at that. So they've had a prune back as well. Okay, so that's all for today. So I've done a bit of fruit pruning, started off some seeds. So it feels like 2026 has started now, and got some seeds planted for the first time this year. So that's all for today. Hopefully I'll see you again soon. Bye for now.